Hey, it's your boy Jayhardcore, Hardcore Boxing News. And I got my guy, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you to be truthful, you know. How things going with you?
It's good, man. I'm just kind of waiting on the news for the next one, the next fight with Alejandro Santiago Barrios. That's the
Santiago.
what? That's the guy. Yeah, that's the guy that the WBC has ordered me to fight for the title, for the vacant title.
Yes, I seen that. They broke that news a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, wow, that's what's up. Man, you done had so many titles, man, and it's amazing, bro. I mean, you got records going on right now. I mean, what is it, 9 now? Is that correct?
Well, nine, but this one's gonna make it 10.
I say I like that. That's what I like.
The more the merrier, man.
Huh? I didn't hear
The
you.
more the merrier.
That's right. That's
The
right.
more the merrier. Am I
Great.
am I lagging? Am I slow or am I
No, you're
is my
fine.
internet connected? Good? Okay.
You're good. You're good. Well, I tell you what, I want to get your story, man. What made you jump into boxing?
Well, for me, I got started in boxing. My father was we grew up in the Bay Area in San Leandro. Is Hayward, San Leandro, Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
He's right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we grew up in the streets or you know, um we were getting into trouble with gangs and stuff like that. So my father wanted us to get out of the street and do some after school program which was boxing for us. But my brother started before I did, and when he started winning the fight, and my dad was so proud of him, I got into it because I wanted to be seen by my father. I wanted my father to be proud of me, so that's how I got into
Nice.
boxing.
Okay, cool. And from what I understand, you and Manny Pacquiao went to the same school?
We did went to the same school, but we never saw each other or met each other then. But yeah, we went to the same school.
Okay, now question, did you all ever fight in the amateurs? Or you
No,
were
I started
smaller?
boxing when I was in the US.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
I
cool,
started I
cool.
started yeah, I started when I was um I think 11 or 12 years old, 11 years old. I started boxing here in the US, and he was 3 or 4 years, no, 4 or 5 years older than me. So, you know,
Okay, from what I understand, you were the first three-time champion in the bantamweight bantamweight class. So you were the
yeah,
first person to ever do that.
and I'm about to make it four with this new one coming in.
That is what's up, man. You got a lot of firsts. And another thing that I understand, man, you became champion in 3 different decades. You did it in the 2000s, you did it in
Yeah,
the 2010, and you did it in 2020s. Man, you got a lot of
that's
firsts
right.
that you got going on, man.
It's a blessing, man. I'm just for me, I just want to keep pushing further. The older I get, the more that I want to keep furthering my career in terms of my accomplishment and stuff like that, because I know that there's going to be time when I can't do this anymore, and I want to get to the very best of me.
What's so crazy, man? You still look like you're 20 years old. You still look real young, man. I mean, you done found the fountain of youth or something.
It's the mindset, brother. It's the mindset. You got to believe you're young. You got to believe, and you got to have a lifestyle that suits your mindset. Eating healthy, working out, meditation for me, just to get my mind right, and all of that stuff. You got to be mentally, physically, and spiritually young in order for you to feel young.
Right. And got a good woman taking care of you. So that always helps too, right?
That's 100%. But sometimes dealing with that smart and strict woman can age you like 10 years, you know. I mean, she can drop the age back, but there's times that she makes me feel like I'm 50 years old, man, or I'm 80 years old. Like I don't want none of it anymore. You know, I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. You're right, babe. You're right. You're right.
That's funny, man. I can understand
Yeah.
that. My wife and I, we've been married now for 25 years. So I definitely understand that.
Man,
They sometimes,
congratulations,
yeah,
man.
sometimes they age is forward, sometimes they age is backwards. It depends, what given
Yep.
day.
Yep. Yep.
Hey,
That's right. Well, they make certainly they make us very emotional and get to the core of us, you know, as men.
okay. I got a good question for you. Out of all your years of fighting, who was your toughest opponent?
The toughest opponent would be, I would say Inoue, the
Mhm.
Japanese fighter. You know, he's similar to my style. He got speed, he got power, you know, and he's a very challenging fighter, and he's also tough, you know. So he's one of the toughest guy I fought, or if not the toughest guy I fought.
And who was your funnest fight?
Oh, funnest.
No, no,
Um,
no. The first one was your hardest. This
okay.
time I'm asking you, who was your funnest fighter? Two different questions.
I gotta say the same fight, man. The
Really?
Inoue fight. Yeah, it was fun for me, man. I like tough fights. I like using my brain. I like to be challenged, you know. I don't like easy fights, you know. Although the Montiel fight, although it only lasted for 2 rounds, but we planned it all out. And you know, I was very nervous in that fight because Montiel was a very good fighter,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it lasted fast. But I think that if I made a mistake, it would have been me that went down. Kind of like I did in the second fight with Inoue. I made a
Mm-hmm.
mistake and I paid the price for it, right? So if he had made the mistake, he would have done been the same that happened to him. But you know, for me, that's what the level of fighters are in this level is when you make those mistakes, you're gonna pay for it.
That is so true, man. That is so true. My next question I got for you, man. If you could fight anybody, past or present, who would it be?
Man,
That it got to make you think on this one.
I mean, there's a lot of fighters I want to fight. You know, I said yesterday, you know, when I first started boxing, um, it was uh, it was Michael Carbajal
Mm-hmm.
at 112. When I was at 112, I
Mm-hmm.
really looked up into his fight. I think that would be a great fight, Michael Carbajal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And
And
from what I
he was the first flyweight. He was the first flyweight that earned $1 million.
oh really? Wow, I did not
Back
know
in the
that.
days. I remember that because I was like, yeah, because I was just like, man, I want to be like him because I was short, I was small, you know, I was lightweight, and he was the first and at that time the only um flyweight that made a million to fight,
Wow,
and that
that's
was with Chiquito Gonzalez, you know.
mm. You know what I like about your career, man? You keep recreating yourself, man. You never settle. When you think Nonito was out of there, you turn right back around and win another championship, and you right back on top again, man. You just keep recreating yourself. How do you do that?
You know, I think the mindset is life is always flowing, life is
Mm,
always moving. You know, the only reason people stop is because they stop believing in themselves. They stop believing and they stay in the past. You know, for
mm,
me, tomorrow is another day. You know, I don't look back. I'm like, oh, I lost. You know, I'm gonna be depressed. You know, I lost. Okay, where can I get better? How can I get better? And how can I improve myself and recreate myself all over again? Because when life is moving, there's always an opportunity to change. People don't like changes, and I think because I grew up hard, that I'm able to just kind of fit in with what I want to become. So for me, it never stops. When you're living, there's always an opportunity to grow. There's always an opportunity to recreate yourself, and there's always an opportunity to become whatever you want to create to become to be. you know. And I think that's what my mentality is as a person is when God has given you this opportunity, why not take it? You know, people
Wow.
take it for granted. You know, they take for granted time. You know, they take for granted things that they could learn. You know, for me, the issue that I have just recently was with my father.
Hmm.
But then it brought me to become a person that started to live life. I'm like, man, I've been very complacent with my life because I've been living good. You know, now I'm like, you know what? I want to go back into it again. Now I'm inspired to do it again. And then I feel and I know the next fight you're gonna be like, that's another recreation, man. That's another invention. That's another person out there. That's I've never seen this guy before. You know, so that's what I am as a person is when I'm given an opportunity, I'm gonna take that opportunity and make the best of that opportunity.
Man, I hope a lot of young fighters hear what you just said, man, because you know they got it to the point now they're afraid to lose. I mean, God forbid nobody wants to lose, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but a lot of reasons why we're not getting these fights that we want is because people are afraid to risk that. Oh, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, back in the day, you could tell I'm a little bit older, but back in the day, just because somebody lost, that didn't mean anything. The rematch
No.
was so much better, and they might
Mm-hmm.
turn right around and win the rematch, when they lost the first time. But these
Yeah.
days, man, the new wave fighter, they I call it the Mayweather blueprint. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mayweather helped boxing a lot. He made sure that fighters got paid with that blueprint. But now people just so afraid to take risks anymore.
Yeah.
And it makes us miss a lot of good fights.
No, 100%, man. And the thing about it is the era of social media. The era of social media is faking the life, right? Faking the life, thinking that, oh, look at me, but then behind the scene, they're just miserable and all of that stuff, right? So people want to be in a perfect condition to be the perfect person when there is no perfection in life. You know, that's the beauty of being a human being is there's no perfection in life. Our imperfection is what makes us perfect. You know, living a life to constantly grow. See, the thing about it is because they fear all of this stuff that they're not growing to become a better person, a better fighter, because they're fearful of it. You know, how many times do we experience losses in our life? We lose loved ones. We have heartaches. We lose business. Whatever. You know, we're constantly lose, and we've experienced losses so many times, but we're so fearful of it. You
Mm,
know, and that's what happens with us is we're limiting ourselves because of the loss. I mean, like if you tell Michael Jordan that, oh man, he missed that shot, is he gonna stop? Are you gonna stop? You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. What limits this time is because of the social media and the expectation that they should live this life and they should have this and they should have that, that they're fearful to make a step in defeat, to make a step in anything in life to become better. Because you know what? I got better because of all the path that I've that led me, all the losses, all the dark times, all the heartache, all of that stuff is what made me stronger. And this is why I can stand in front of everybody, even if I lost just yesterday. I'll be like, you know what? I'm happy with my life. I'm good with my life. You know, and the thing about it is that people don't understand the virtue of life, of living life. It's not about the money. It's not about all of this stuff. It's about living a good life. It's about being happy with your life. You know, and one thing, if I could make a wish in front of everybody, I would wish that they have billions of dollars so that they'll know the importance of money, that life is the most important things that you can have, you know. And that's the thing is we all have what is important, that is living in this moment. But then people don't see that, you know, because they're clamoring, they're grabbing onto everything else because we want to be this, we want to be that, we want to have that, we want to be, you know, all of that stuff, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it clouds the purpose of living.
Nonito, I think you once boxing is over, I think your next call is going to be a motivational speaker, man. You motivating the hell out of me right now. I'm gonna be honest, bro. No,
And I'm
seriously.
inspired, bro. I'm inspired because I mean the thing is sometimes this is the craziest thing about me is like when I talk to people, somehow I'm a different person in front of a different energy. So when I'm talking to you, this is something that somehow is coming out of me, coming from you. You know what I mean? It's something that maybe it's something that you want to become to see or to make example to other kids or to the up and comers to just whatever. The essence of why we connect is because there is something that's allowing me to speak this way. I don't know, man. I'm just weird like that, man. Maybe because I'm just very spiritual in life and just living life that I kind of feel people's energy. You know what I mean?
Nice, nice, nice. All right. They say your favorite fighter is Alexis Aguirre, correct?
There
Oh,
is
at
there
one
is
time.
a lot of favorite fighters I have.
Okay.
Alexis Aguero, Trinidad, and Mike Tyson were the creation of my left hook.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
my style was based on Sugar Ray Leonard. My dad loved Sugar Ray Leonard,
Me too.
and that was me. Yeah, that was me growing up. He always wanted me to box. You know, I used to remember I would move my legs a lot and a lot of combination like Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, and that's why they started calling me the Flash. Before the Filipino came in the picture, I was the Flash, just the Flash.
Wow. And Ray was so fast.
Then, yeah,
I'm born and raised Washington D.C. So Sugar Ray Leonard was our guy, and I knew his brother Roger. So
yeah,
Ray was just our guy, man. We all wanted to fight like Ray.
yeah. I mean, he was incredible, man. He was very incredible. And the thing about it, because I did a report on him when I was in high school, how
Mhm.
he was very fearful going into that ring. You know, and the thing about it is, I grew up bullied, and so I was always fearful. And then when I read Sugar Ray's book, I was like, okay, so it's just not me that gets scared going into the ring, you know? So for a long time, I was that way until I got the experience. And the experience for me now is just, I feel like I'm just going in there sparring, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So, and that's the thing people don't understand is that we live through life just being fearful. And again, going back into living and losing the zero instead of living the legacy of what you could be as a human being or as a fighter. People limit themselves in that way. And like you said, it's the Mayweather blueprint, you know,
Mhm.
and the money speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody try to be.
And you know what? I'm a spiritual guy as well. And in the Bible, God keeps saying, fear not, fear not, fear not. It's a reason why he says that, because that fear holds us back sometimes from being great. So,
Yes.
that's so important, man.
Yeah, no, Ali would say, let me show you how great I am. Right? Before anything else, Ali would say that because he not that he didn't believe it, but he made himself believe it and he made himself know that he can do it.
He
That's the
spoke it
difference is
into
that we're
existence.
always
Yeah.
constant. What was that, brother?
I say he spoke it into existence.
Yes, he spoke it into existence. And that's the power. See, this is the power that we have as human beings. God gave us the power to create, or else we wouldn't have choices. We wouldn't make our own choices if we didn't have the power to create.
That's
All
right.
the path that we take is our choice. Regardless if we're inspired to be here, regardless if somebody pushes us to do this and to do that, we still made those choice. That's the power of us human beings, is that we have the power to create ourselves, create our mind, create our heart, create our body, create everything that we are living, having, and thinking.
That is so true. That is so true. Hey, let's move into some new news. Inoue is going to be fighting Cool Boy Stephen Fulton.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that fight?
I think it's a great fight. I think Scooter is prime for to be at his best. This is something that he wants to have, is accolades, is being known. Is it's crazy because in Philly, they don't give him that much love like they do with other people, and I think he's deserving of that, and I think this is good for him, and this is where he's gonna show up and do his thing, is because this is what he asked for.
Mm-hmm. 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 And it's so funny. He spoke this in existence a long time ago.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that, but he actually spoke this into existence. The whole Japan thing and everything. He spoke this.
Yeah.
A little birdie told me that you might be helping them in sparring a little bit. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I know Wahid for a long time, from the amateurs, and when I moved, when I trained in Vegas, Zaire, I was sparring with Zaire. Wahid was with him, so I've known him for a very long time, and he wanted to hit me up when I was in Philly, and we got to meet up and stuff like that, and and they had asked me that might be a possibility, and I'm all for that, man. I think
I
that.
hope so.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
hope
really
so.
up to Scooter to go out there and ask for it, whatever he needs to do, I told Wahid I got it, I got his back.
How do you see their styles matching?
Well, Scooter is, Fulton is the kind of guy that kind of changes his style according to who he is fighting. But, he has to go beyond himself on this fight, because Inoue has good speed and he has good power. And he's fought me, so he has a lot of experience when it comes down to it, and he's also tough. But I think Fulton needs to use his reach, need to use his ability as a fighter. The thing about fighter like Inoue is and myself is we have a second delay when we go from offense to defense, and that's why a parry and shoot is good, block and shoot is good, and slip and shoot is good, because I think that's where he can exploit Inoue's tendency of transitioning from offense to defense. And if when he can do that and going around lateral movements around Inoue, I think that he's gonna do really good. I think that he's gonna be able to do what he aim to do going to Japan, and that is winning.
Nice. Size wise, how do they compare the size? Because I haven't seen.
I think a Scooter's way bigger.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, way bigger. And Inoue's compressed. He's solid. But going into this fight, Fulton's gonna be a lot bigger. I personally think.
Okay. Prediction.
I would say Fulton by a close decision because it's in Japan. I think that he's gonna be able to go around him, but I think it's more of a wider point thing gap. But I mean, I can't really speak on it because now I'm thinking about it. He's a very tenacious guy. He's gonna go out there, and if he's losing the fight, he's gonna go and bring it to him. It's hard to predict, man. It's hard to predict because it just depends how Fulton go out there and impose his style. I think that he can make a miss all day. Use that jab, make a miss all day. Walk around him, you shoot that jab, shoot that straight. I think he's gonna win that way, but that depends if how disciplined he is. And I know he is very, very disciplined when it comes down to that.
Good. Hey, man, I like that. I think Scooter wins by split decision myself. So
okay. So we're kind of right there, close decision, because of the hometown and all of that stuff. But I think that when it comes down to diverse style of fighting, Scooter definitely has the biggest advantage over Inoue.
Yeah, and I don't think Inoue has ever seen Scooter's style before.
Right.
I don't think he has, but
that's the thing is he's very, very limited in experience because he's fought guys, he's knocked them out and all this other stuff. The longest he's done is fight me, the first fight. And that's pretty much his biggest experience. But I'm a different fighter. I came out there and just try to take it to him. But he's never faced a guy who can use range.
How is he with adjustment? Anyway.
He's pretty much the same when it comes down to it. He's just tenacious. He's just he's just a fighter. When it comes down to put, to gritting his teeth and fighting through it, he'll fight through it because he's just a tough dude. Because when I broke his orbital bone and his nose, he still kept fighting, So we know he's tough. But in terms of changing style, his style doesn't change.
Okay, that's good to know. That's very good to know.
He'll throw overhands here and there, he'll throw all that other stuff, but it's everything that you've seen him do. That's all that he's gonna show up to do.
Definitely a tough guy to fight through a broke orbital bone, though.
Yeah, that's the thing about it is he's a tough dude, man. I don't ever underestimate how tough this dude is just because he has less experience. This dude is tough.
That means a lot. That means a lot. Yeah, that means he can take a lot. So
he can take a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's there for one intention. He has that intention of winning and beating everybody, like how I did.
Yes. Okay. I got one more. The one that's coming up. We got Benavidez against Plant. Give me your outtake on that one.
With Plant, he can box really good if he boxes really good, but we've seen him not being able to sustain a boxing type of fight, and then he gets in there. The thing about with Plant is he's a great talent, but when he punches, he's very stagnant. He doesn't move his leg. He doesn't have anything that goes beyond boxing in terms of like being in there. When he shoots, but he stays there. He doesn't step back or stop his combination and step out and come back. He's not that type of fighter. He's fast and he'll throw that jab really good. But I think that Benavidez is just that guy that can overwhelm him, because his volume and he's gonna press on him. And we know with the Canelo fight that Plant kind of broke down mentally and he got tired. And I think that if he doesn't catch Benavidez with those big shots like he did with Darrell, I think that he's gonna get overwhelmed and he might tire out, So that's what I think this fight.
And I think Darrell didn't see that shot coming, and those are the worst ones.
Right. When you don't see the shot coming, that's what it hurts you really bad. But the thing is, can he constantly land that shot? I mean, I know Benavidez is gonna be there and his chin might be up there and he might land that shot, but can he do it when he's being pushed forward? You know what I mean? And that's what David Benavidez is gonna do is press forward, volume punching, and he's gonna catch you with those. He'll catch you one or two of them when he's throwing six of them, And can you retaliate when you're getting caught with so many punches in your face and your arms, and you know what I mean? So that's a question that we have in terms of what Caleb Plant is able to do when he's being pressured with volume punching and size.
Yeah. That size, he's going to wonder, is Benavidez going to impose his will on him, No, I know I said that was the last one, but now you made me think about one more, and I like how you breaking stuff down. We got Zoo against Tony Harrison. And this fight,
I can't break it down too much.
I've been going back and forth with this one, man.
Yeah. Let me know what you think, though, man.
I want to
hear what you think.
Some days, man, I feel though that Zoo is going to press him and catch him and knock him out. But then other days I'm thinking that Harrison's going to be too smart for him and outbox him, and keep him on the outside, and win it that way. So I keep going back and forth with that.
Well, for me, I am not too familiar with Tim Tszyu because I haven't really seen him fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I gotta do my research on that first and see
Okay.
all these fights. So I can't really say what I think the fight is gonna be. But Harrison, you know, if he does use those range, being the taller guy and just kind of move around and have that confidence like he did when he fought Charlo, although Charlo got the best of him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that goes a long way when fighting somebody who is less experienced.
I agree. I agree. I agree. But I still keep going back and forth on that one. You know, it's one of
This is the beauty of boxing, man. This is the beauty of boxing. You never know until they get in there.
that is so true, man. It is so true. That's why they got betting out here, because we can't figure it out all the time. And that's one I really think is a 50-50 fight. And 50-50 fights I never bet on. So listen, I believe in winning.
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean? But listen
yeah,
in,
that's
man.
good. That's good.
Well,
That's a good mentality, man, because you know you limit yourself from you know from all of that, but you're you know you don't want to be one of those guys that is you know that takes away the fun of it because of the mentality of wanting to win. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what, I think this can happen. That's the fun of it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
as long
But
as my money is not involved.
exactly. See, that's a different story, right? That's a different story because everybody can change mentally and all of that stuff. And like we were just talking about earlier, you know, about people and not willing to risk because they're fearful of it, you know.
That's true.
And I guess that's the lesson of it all today is when people can create for themselves is because they got to be fearless of what they can do, you know. And when they can go through that, that's when they become unstoppable. And that's why we see people who rises out of nowhere. And I think that Fulton, if he has that mentality of being of not fearing the loss, not fearing anything, that I think that he can create his true potential in showing against Inoue.
Wow. Beautiful. That's beautiful. You know what I mean? And just going, just pressing and just going through, man, no matter what, you know,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
so
I mean,
important.
our fear is the only one that really stops us. You know, there's nobody else that stop us but us. That's the key about life is that it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what people do. It's about what you say and what you do for you that's either gonna take you down or gonna lift you up. And that's why I say we're the creator of us is because we technically can fall because of our mindset or we can rise because of our mindset.
Amen to that, bro. But
Yeah.
listen, but listen, it was definitely a pleasure. Can you let people know where they can find you on the social media platforms or whatever else you want to say before we sign out?
Well, you can find me on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachel. Me and my wife talk about boxing and all that stuff, and talk about contracts and all that stuff, educating everybody, fighters and fans alike, about how the boxing world works. And you can find me on Nonito Donaire on Instagram and Filipino Flash on Twitter. So much love to everybody out there who sees this, and be fearless, man. I promise you, you will go beyond what you think you could do.
Be fearless. That's what's up. Well, this is your boy Jayhardcore, Hardcore Boxing News. I'm here with the Filipino Flash, and we out of here.